Hello, my nail polish fanatics, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another episode of Dupes or Not. Dupes or Not is where I take an indie polish or mainstream polish and compare polishes that I already have to see if they're dupes or not. If you like this type of content or anything nail art or nail art related, please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, click on your notification bell so you know when I upload new content. So, without further ado, let's get started with swatching these polishes to see if they're dupes or not. First, we have a mainstream, which is Wet n Wild, and then we have Victorian Varnishes Arcanite, and the Wet n Wild is putting on air. So we're going to see, they look almost identical in the bottle, so I wanted to see if they were actual dupes or not. So let's go ahead and see. So with the Wet n Wild, I see already it's kind of thick in consistency. With one application, it is already opaque. So let's try Victorian Varnishes Arcanite. It's a little more thinner on application. And you can see here it levels out just as well as the Wet n Wild, which is the mainstream brand. So, and a lot of people don't like mainstream, but sometimes they're just as good as an indie polish. So this one, 2 coats with the Wet n Wild. And we can kind of see here with the Arcanite, Victorian Varnishes Arcanite, it's a tad bit more muted than the Wet n Wild. And here's up close. So you can see here, the Wet n Wild is just a tad bit brighter, and the Arcanite is just a little bit muted. So, but pretty much the same. They're on the same spectrum. So next we have Paparazzi, which is a CVS brand polish. And this is Surf and Turf, and we have Vivid Nail Lacquer, which is pretty new to my channel, and this is Grassy. I thought of these colors. I said, wait a minute, I think I've got something similar to this Grassy, so let me check out my stash. And I pulled out Paparazzi, and I'm sorry I'm out of frame. You'll see in this video, I tend to do that a few times, and I do apologize. But I'm just swatching away, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm out of frame. See him slowly pulling up the panel up to the midsection. So I said, let me zoom in. Maybe that'll help me to stay on track. So, and this is Vivid. You can see with the first application, Vivid is a little bit more brighter. And then the Paparazzi brand is a little more, just a tad bit darker. So you can see this already, that they're very, very similar. Let's see how it's going to look with the second application with Vivid. I don't know, you guys. That is so super close. Super close. But I do think the Vivid has a better formula. Now we've got Kleancolor. And this is Metallic Aqua. And then I've got Orly, which is a sweet Peacock. They are very similar in the bottle, so let's see how they fare out on the swatch nail. Let me know if you like this type of video, because sometimes you think you don't have something that's similar to a mainstream polish or an indie polish, and you have it in a mainstream polish, what I tried to say. Can't get words out, y'all. So you may have it in a mainstream and not necessarily have to get an indie polish if you already have it. So I wanted to do this video just to see what I had that was comparable to what something else, and if it was similar. So with this oily polish, now these 2 polishes I have had a while, so I'm sorry about the applications, and I have gotten so spoiled and so used to using paddle brushes, and going back to the straight brush is just different, I should say. So, but these are still beautiful polishes. I've always liked the Kleancolor polishes because they stamp well for being a metallic color. So I just wanted to see how this Orly will look side by side. You can see here I'm struggling to get this on here because it's streaking up a bit, but still a pretty color. It took more applications than the Kleancolor, of course, but they are very similar. But with the Kleancolor, it's a little bit more brighter, and the Orly is more deep, more of a rich vampire look, if that makes sense. So very pretty, almost alike, but just a tad bit of a difference. Not much though, not much. Okay, here is an oldie. This is a Wet n Wild Fast Dry Polish. This is Grey's Anatomy. And when I bought it, I knew I had something similar to that. And then I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. Finger Paints Multicolored Masterpiece is so freaking similar. So I said, let me go ahead and put this in my dupe or not video to compare these two polishes. These are both mainstream polishes, by the way. And I just haven't had time, but I think I have another polish that is an indie polish that is similar to this color. And I'm trying to think. I'm thinking I have it in a Lynbdesigns, but it's probably deep buried somewhere with all the other polishes that I have. So I could really put my hands on these two pretty quickly. So, but looking at them side by side, these are dupes, y'all. Look at that. And that's just with one application. So let's go ahead and give it a couple of more applications because this is a very, very super sheer polish. So we're going to see if these are dupes. I really do believe they are. And I don't care how many coats. I should have done this over black to see how it looked over black. That would have definitely given me a very, very good depiction on whether or not these two are actually dupes. But with these few applications that I did apply, I would say these are definitely dupes. Definitely. So here is the last application. And you can see the color building up. Really pretty polished, but the only drawback with this is you've got to do so many applications, at least 3. But these are definitely dupes, y'all. So we've got the Wet n Wild and we've got the finger paints. Those are definitely dupes. Now this next combination is really mind-blowing to me. I've got the Lynbdesigns. I totally paused. And when I initially got the PR package for this polish, I was like, wait a minute. I know I got something similar. And this is Victorian Varnishes You Being Petty. And I've done a video on this polish. And these two polishes are just simply amazing to me. I love the colors. I love the sparkle, the shine, the glimmer. Just the color itself. I love it. Now, when swatching it, now the bottles, they look very, very similar. But in swatching them, I could see a little bit of a contrast, a little bit of difference. Not much. With the Victorian varnish, it's a little more pastel-y. And the Lynbdesigns is much more intense in color. If as you can see here, it's a little bit more orange, and then the other one is a little bit more goldy or yellowy. So, like I said, with the Victorian, it's a little bit more pastel-y than the Lynbdesigns. Now, I can say for certain, with the Lynbdesigns, it does stain. So, but you can see the intensity in the color here already. But these are very, very similar. They aren't dupes, but they're very, very close. This is a different dimension. It's electrifying. Man, this is an old one. I've had this, as you can see, 2020. It's old, y'all. pulled it out because I said, wait a minute, I have Lynbdesigns planned for the weekend, and that looks so similar. So we're going to see how similar these two are. They're both magnetics, and I decided I'm going to use my ring magnet this time. And I kept knocking this thing off of the little stand here. But I don't think these are going to fare the same, but the colors, the base colors are very, very similar. Now, I did speed this up a little bit just for time's sake with the magnet. I realized that that ring magnet is not very strong for this particular polish. It's not very reactive, so I'm trying to put enough thickness to the coat to give it some dimension with the ring magnet. Now back to the regular speed on the Lynbdesign polish. As you can see, here is more vampy, a deeper, richer color than the different dimension, more reactive than the different dimension. As you can see here, and this is real time. This is not sped up. But this one, you could see it reacting quickly as opposed to it's electrifying. So you can see that the magnetic pull on these are very different. With the Lynbdesign, you have more of a silvery blue magnetic pull as opposed to the it's electrifying. So they are not dupes, but in the bottle they look damn close. Look damn close. Okay, we've got fresh paint, and this is Nirvana. This is an old one too. I remember getting this one from Five and Below when they first opened here in my area. So this is an old one here. And then I also have Victorian Varnish, which is recent, by the Sea. So I'll try to link those videos where I have the live swatches and the review on these polishes. But this is just to show you whether they're dupes or not. So we're going to see, and I've already swatched fresh paint Nirvana off camera. I'm like, gosh, what am I doing today? But side by side, as you can see with By the Sea, it is so similar, you guys. Look at that. And we're going to start with the second coat. I love these polishes that have that super duper glow. I fall in love with them every time. And I know that I have another polish. Oh, I forgot. I have a Luna lacquer polish that may be similar to this too. And I forgot to even add it to this video, but I'm pretty sure it's very similar because that blue glowy polish, I remember having another one, and that was Luna Lacquer. And I do apologize for not putting that in the video. If I can remember to put a photo of it up here in the corner, I will. But that is they are very similar. And looking at it closely, the fresh paint has more of a periwinkle glow, and the Victorian Varnish has more of I would say, a muted blue glow. It's not as intense, I should say, because you can see the intensity with Nirvana right here in the swatch, and Victorian is not as intense. It's more muted. And you can see that now even more so when I put the additional coats. Now, like I said, that it looks like the Nirvana has more of a grayer base and the Victorian Varnish has more of a pastel. So here's a second look at all of these polishes. They are very, very close and similar. They could pretty much, some of them can pass for dupes, but they're not exact. But this pair here is definitely a dupe for sure. I thought that the Lynbdesigns would be with Victorian, but they are not. Like I said, they are similar, but you can see more of an orange tint to Lynbdesigns. But both are beautiful. Both are stunningly beautiful, but in different ways. And then we've got different dimension, a Lynbdesigns, fresh paint, and Victorian varnish. Very close though. Very close. So now we've got some toppers. I've got Kleancolor Meteorite here. And we're going to pair it with Periwinkle Polish Thing 4. And we're going to swatch that to see how well they fare as a duplicate polish. Now I wanted to show you the black that I use. This is the Dollar Tree brand. And when I tell you these are one coater black polishes, if you're looking for a one coat black polish, head over to the Dollar Tree to get this CV black on black. It is gorgeous. One coat, y'all. And that's what I've been swatching on my nails when I use toppers lately to put over the black. This is what I've been using. And when I do the black segment, this is what I'm using. Top it over black segment. This is what I'm using on these tips as well. As you can see here, Thing 4 is more purple, so that does not work. I pulled out Peculiar Polishes Thing 3 to see if it's going to match up with Kleancolor Meteorite. And it's kind of hard sometimes when you see them in the bottle, but once you swatch them, and yes, this one pairs together. So Kleancolor Meteorite with Peculiar Polish Thing 3. So those two match. Thing 3 is more intense than the Kleancolor, so it's a better quality polish, the Peculiar polish, than the Kleancolors, I would have to say, in this instance. Next, I have Kleancolor Prism, and Thing 3, I'm sorry, Thing 1 was the first one. Thing 1. So this one is Thing 3, which is more of a green. So we're going to see if Kleancolor Prism and Thing 3 looks alike. In the bottle, they look similar, so we're going to see. Okay, this is the Kleancolor. It's a little thick there. These polishes have been sitting up a while. I miss doing my nail art, and some of these polishes have been sitting and not been able to use, so that's all. That's the only thing. You guys, please let me know in the comments section if you would like for me to continue to do these dupes or not segment videos. I'm enjoying these pretty much because I didn't realize how many polishes you already have in your stash that are so similar. So again, if you like this content, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your polish family and friends. So next we have Kleancolor's Twilight. And I swatched it and realized that this was more gold than anything else I had. So I decided to just put that aside because I did not get something that would pair with that. So as you can see, it looks more gold than anything on the nail swatch. So I decided to go ahead and pull out Kleancolor Galactic. And this is that Dollar Tree brand polish. See what I mean? One coat black, y'all. And you don't break the bank getting a one coater. Okay? $1.25. So again, this is Galactic, and I've got Paparazzi Glitter Iridescent Purple. I'm going to see if that one pairs well with the Galactic. Now, with that black polish, it does dry down a bit flat, so just to keep you posted on that. You can see in the other nail tip, it's a little flat. It's not crystal. It's not very shiny and glossy, so it's a little bit flat, satiny, a satiny finish. So we're going to put Galactic over the black. And then I'm going to try the Paparazzi, which is a CVS brand, glitter iridescent purple. And I know this is a longer video than normal, and I appreciate those who have stayed this long to watch this video. I really appreciate your time watching the video, so thank you. This one does not look like they pair to the Galactic, so I said, let me look at Peculiar Polish's Thing 4 that I swatched in the beginning of the topper segment to see if they match better together. So we're going to swatch that really quickly. Get my black polish back out. And this is the Paparazzi Glitter Iridescent Purple, which looks more blue. So that one paired a little bit well with the Galactic, but not much. So there you have it. We found out which ones are dupes and which ones are not. Thank you so much